CHE, the Council for Higher Education, accredits programs. They can do that in conjunction with HPCSA for professional qualifications in the health science profession. But they are the accrediting body. So don't confuse the two. Greetings friends, this is Dr. T and thank you for joining me. Today I want to speak about one of the questions that I get a lot when people ask about what are the sites which are accredited or institute where one can study psychology, particularly looking at the institutes that are accredited for the BPsych and also the BPsych equivalent and the master's program. So I'm going to show you where you can get, how you can get this institute on the HPCSA website. I thought of putting the link on my under the YouTube video, but I thought it's better I show you the source, which is the HPCSA, because they've got a lot of information that you can actually get on the system. If you go to their website, all this information is available. But before I get into the presentation, allow me to just encourage you that if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, that you take time, you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe by clicking on the subscribe button at the bottom of this video, but also give the thumbs up if you like the video. And if you've got any question, I'd like you to comment below this video. Put your comments there, questions there, or any form of comment, however, any way that the video might have helped you, put the comment below this video. So share the video with as many people as possible, particularly those in psychology who are looking for information about which sites are accredited or which institutes are accredited, especially UNISA student. UNISA student, I love you so much. The way you ask questions about accreditation, I like it so much. So I hope this will help you if you want to know which sites are accredited, which institutes are accredited. You might be asking yourself a question: where will I work if I follow a field in psychology? Follow certain videos that I've done. I've done several videos that speaks about, particularly those in honors. I've done a video that speaks about career options when you have an honors and you are not selected for masters. Check that video where I speak about what can I do with a psychology qualification. And I've also done another one about how to get into masters. For those who want to get into masters and you want just tips on how to prepare yourself, I provide tips on how to prepare for a master's selection. Check that video as well. But also check on the site, on the YouTube channel. I've got a lot of video particularly helping you articulate or progress in your psychology career. So don't be stranded with information when it's all available at one place on the channel. So make sure that you browse most of the videos that we have. They will be able to help you in order to advance in your psychology career. Now let's get into the topic of today. The topic of today, I want to show you the institute that are accredited to provide psychology training. I'm going to show you, particularly focusing at the master's level and the BPsych program, which are accredited by HPCSA. I think those are the most important one. And I don't want to get into too many technicalities about accreditation, approval, and all that between CHE and HPCSA. But I think I will do another video. Just check out for another video where I speak about accreditation of programs to help you understand how it works. Because most of the time, I realize that we confuse the two processes with regard to accreditation of programs. CHE, the Council for Higher Education, accredits programs. They can do that in conjunction with HPCSA for professional qualifications in the health science profession, but they are the accrediting body. So if you are doing an honors in psychology, for example, at UNISA, they've got psychology of education. You will not find it in accredited programs. They've got a master's, rather, sorry. They've got a master's in psychology of education. You will not find it on the list of accredited programs for HPCSA, but it is still accredited by CHE. So don't confuse the two and say, oh, UNISA make us do a master that is not accredited. It is accredited by the council that accredits all programs, every higher education program, NQF 7 and above, they're accredited by CHE. So I don't want you to be confused about this issue of accreditation and go up and down and think you are having a bogus program. I think institute like UNISA, they've got a very high reputation, so it's unlikely that they'll just allow you. It could happen, but most of the time I've realized, accreditation sometimes it lapses and institutes can go through the process of reapproving that particular accreditation. So during that interim, people can start to blame an institute. So be careful that you get the right information. Check, I've done a video as well where I speak about how to check whether a program is accredited by CHE, and then you can check that through the SAQA website. I show you how to do that so that you can be able to know, so that don't have stress about your program. So you need to understand the National Qualification Framework, that at NQF level 5 to 10, they're accredited by CHE. So they are the accrediting body for those particular qualification level. It's only when you go down where you can get other accrediting body, like your QCTO. I think QCTO, you can see, doesn't accredit number 9 and 10, which is basically your master's and your PhD. But from honors level going down, they do accredit, and also Umalusi. So these are your accrediting bodies when it comes to qualification. So sometimes don't confuse the two. There are this accrediting body. These are your accrediting bodies. When it comes to qualification, are accredited by them. If you want to know what course are accredited, you check with them. HPCSA accredits with regard to professional development. So they are very interested in any course that leads to a professional qualification in the health profession field. So which institute are accredited for those particular programs? That's what I'll be looking at this point. So firstly, you need to go to the HPCSA website, and when you get to the website, so this is the HPCSA website, you go to the website. The website is called, or the URL there is www.hpcsa.co.za. So go to the website, and when you get to the website, go to at the above top menu there with written professional boards, and go scroll down and click on the psychology. When you click there on psychology, it will open another window which is focused on the psychology board information. Now when you get there, go to on the site menu, you will see where it's written evaluation. Click on where it's written evaluation, and it will give you evaluation information, and then you will see here view a list of accredited institute, and that's what you click in order to access the institute. So that is the list of the institutes which are accredited. I'm going to just expand this a bit so that we can see all of them. So the first one is the Cornerstone Institute. It's a private institute, and you can see that they are accredited for the Bachelor of Arts Honors in Psychology, B-Psych equivalent registration, counseling, and then for the MA counseling in psychology. Free State, they've got a master's in social science, so they've got clinical psychology. Now when you get here on this list, I want you to ignore the designators. Let them not disturb you. M stands for masters, M here for masters, and that's the qualification type. It's a master's. And then the next word here, the social science, that's the designator, or what you call the discipline or the profession that you are studying. And then the last part which is where I want you to focus on, is called the qualifier. So the qualifier, or what you call the specialization, is the clinical psychology. So the most focus here when you look at this should be on the qualification type, whether it's a master's or a B-Psych, and also the qualifier, whether it is a clinical psychology, educational, or whatever. So focus on those things so that you are not confused. The second one, they also have an MA industrial psychology. So I'm not going to be even referring masters industrial psychology. Then you go to the Nelson Mandela University, NMU. They've got B-Psych equivalent for psychometry, B-Psych registered counselor. Now you need to know that when it comes to B-Psych qualification, which is a 4-year program, an institute must be accredited for each of them separately. So when an institute is accredited for registered counselor, doesn't necessarily mean they're also registered for the psychometry. Each qualification is accredited separately. So with NMU, you can see that they are accredited for both of them, which is a good thing. And they also have the clinical psychology, counseling psychology, and industrial psychology. The good thing about the list is that the contacts are on the side. You can also communicate directly with the institute. Northwest University, they've got clinical psychology. Northwest University of the Val, they've got industrial psychology, and they also have psychometry equivalent. And then Northwest Potchefstroom, they've got counseling psychology, clinical psychology, research psychology, industrial, and industrial program honors. They've got an M and the honors level. And then Rhodes has got the clinical and the counseling. Sefako Makato have got the clinical. I know I used to have a lot of questions from people from SMU, particularly those at an honors level, speaking about the lack of accreditation of the honors and all that. They're basically referring to this. So those who have been part of my presentation, I've explained to you how the thing works. But at the end of the day, I think it has to do with accreditation. Doesn't mean the honors that you are doing is not accredited. It is accredited by CHE. It's just not the B-Psych equivalent that allow you to graduate as a counselor or a psychometry. But still, you can still articulate from it into the B-Psych equivalent programs. So don't think because it's not equivalent, there's nothing that you can do. You can still be able to move to B-Psych equivalent programs in order to be able to do the psychometry or the counseling. So don't stress about that. Remember, actually, for those I even presented to, I've shared with you the videos that I've done where I've interviewed, and I think I did this intentionally. I interviewed a psychometry who did the SMU honors, who's now a psychometrist. Check that video where he speaks about how he got into UJ equivalent honors program, and now he's a qualified psychometrist, but he did your honors. So check that video out so that you can be able to understand how you maneuvered. And anybody, whether you are at UNISA, you are doing an academic honors, you are wondering whether can you be able to move into the equivalent program, check these videos. They will guide you. These are the people who have done the program that you have done, or equivalent to the ones that you have done, which you refer to as academic, and they will guide you on how they got into the accreditation program. There's another one interview that I've done where I interviewed a registered counselor who can also explain to you. She did the SMU honors program, the academic one, and she's a counselor, so she will guide you on how she did it. So don't be fixated on the issue of accreditation, especially UNISA people. UNISA people, I don't know why you like accreditation, you like credits, you like all these curriculum related issues. I've never seen people who ask about curriculum like UNISA student. Some of the things you worry about at UNISA, the HOD issues. You focus on getting the marks. Focus on getting the marks, being in the right program, and get accepted for the equivalent or the master's program. Focus on getting them. Don't worry too much about too many things. That is why I'm giving you this list to make your life easier so that we can check which programs are accredited. So the other one is the South African College of Applied Psychology. This one is also a private one. I think it's one of the colleges that I think I've noticed that they've got both the B Psych and also they've got the equivalent. So the equivalent, what it does, it actually allows you to be able to articulate from your honors program or from your degree level into the psychometry or the counseling. So the whole aim of having B Psych equivalent, and I think on the other video where I speak about the honors program, I've shared this. It has to do with articulation issues that I've spoken about. Articulation, remember what I said, is basically about career mobility. When I finish a qualification, can I be able to move to another qualification or advance in my career until I get a qualification so that I can be able to get employment? So articulation basically is aimed at removing any dead end, or closing the gap in terms of the dead end in terms of a career path. You mustn't do a qualification and you end up at home because you have nowhere to go. I should be able, with career articulation, to do a UNISA Masters in Psychology of Education and articulate into a professional Masters in Educational Psychology and be accredited on certain modules that I've done and still qualify as a psychologist. It should be able to do that. Or I should be able to articulate and move into an academic lecturing position. So there should be those options. That's what articulation does. So this equivalent program is aimed at that particular process. And they offer that. So that is why you are seeing they will have the B Psych and they'll also have the equivalent. The equivalent is actually to help you with a degree so that you can have the 18 months to have the internship or the practicum and also the theoretical background that you need in order to qualify as a counselor or as a psychometrist. And then Stellenbosch has got the counseling psychology, they've got educational, they've got psychometry equivalent, they've got industrial. UNISA have got the clinical, the research, and the industrial. Now you will notice that it doesn't have the educational, although they've got what they call psychology of education. I think I've explained that because their psychology of educational is not accredited for educational psychology. I know they are in the process of getting that accredited, but it's not yet accredited. But however, if you have done it or you are doing it, and I will definitely do recommend, I mean, if you are not selected for masters, that is another option instead of the B Psych. You can also do the B Psych. Articulation is just to give you options, and then you can from it follow the academic route and lecture or apply for educational psychology professional qualification, which will be able to allow you to register with HPCSA. The good thing about if you do the UNISA one, you know that you are likely going to be accredited because your modules are going to align with educational psychology. Most of the modules are going to be aligned, and then you are going to be accredited. When I speak about accreditation, I'll also clarify articulation. I'll clarify this particular aspect, but you are going to be at least accredited for certain modules. It makes it easy that you have got two options: either you go the academic route or you apply for the M instead of focusing on the PGC, because most of the time with the PGCE, some of you don't even meet the requirements because you don't have school related subjects, you don't have your chemistry, physics, mathematics and all that, so they end up not selecting you. So this UNISA program is also a good program, the psychology of education. If you want to become educational psychologist, obviously if you want to become clinical and whatever, they'll want your academic masters or your B Psych equivalent. But if you want to become educational psychologist, they will definitely want you to have the psychology of education. It will really add value into your application. Then we have University of Cape Town. They've got the clinical and industrial, and you have University of Johannesburg. They've got clinical, counseling, educational, industrial, and B Psych equivalent. I know people who have done this quickly, about 6 months or 8 months. They were done. And then you have KZN. KZN have got, KZN, different campuses. They've got clinical, counseling, industrial, clinical, counseling, and educational. And then you've got University of Limpopo. University of Limpopo, they've got registered counselor. That's the B Psych and the clinical psychology. University of Pretoria, they have clinical psychology, counseling, educational research, and industrial. University of the Western Cape, clinical research and industrial, educational psychology and vets, industrial and counseling, clinical psychology and research. Venda, they only have registered counselor. UniZulu only have educational psychology. Walter Sisulu only have the B-Psych program. So friends, that's basically it. The good thing about this list is that it has the contact details. So I've showed you how to get it from the HPCSA website. Go there, get the list, and make sure that you apply on time. Make sure that you have the marks. I hope this will help in terms of where you can study for psychology qualification, particularly the master's program and the BSAC program. This is the list that you can use in order to apply. The good thing about this is directly from their website. So this is the latest list which they have updated. So check this list and use it when you want to apply. Before we close, friends, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, make sure that you click on the subscribe button, share this video with as many people as possible, spread the word so that people can also know how to get the list of all the accredited institute. Enjoy your day and continue living a fulfilling life.